one.
Critical EDH. How you doing? We're doing pretty good over here at Logan's house on a Tuesday night with the next iteration of Keeping Tabs on cEDH. We've got the whole crew here today. We've got
Logan.
I'm Eric, and
Jason.
We have got so much stuff we're excited to talk about. We've mentioned it before, but this is a logo that Gold Sabertooth drew for us, I think, while he was on the plane to Fishbowl.
Yeah.
Still, like, I was lying in bed, in the fetal position after like traveling all day because I wasn't feeling good. But then I saw this on Twitter, and I swear to God, it healed me, bro.
Yeah, we were at I think it was the first night of LobbyCon, and my phone's blown up, and it's Gold texting me like, "Bro, I just landed. I drew this like fan art on the plane," and he's like tweeting it out. I was like blown away.
Super. Well, hey, speaking of Gold Sabertooth, things that blew us away, and tabs, on to the next one, Logan. Currently, at this exact moment in time, Gold Sabertooth, the man himself, streaming on Twitch.
I don't know how we keep doing this. I think it's because we record this on Tuesdays, and he probably has like a Tuesday, Thursday schedule.
For sure.
Yeah.
But my man's streaming.
Dude, super duper streaming.
Always consistent about it.
Oh, dude.
His work ethic is second to none, and I kind of strive to be at that level.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of his work and our work, we're hoping that there's more than just a logo that we can collaborate with them with. Logan, would you like to say more?
Yeah, so I think if everything lines up correctly, which it seems like it is so far, we're working on a playmat with Gold Sabertooth, and it's going to have a nice little C logo and a couple different elements, but my goal for it is for it to be sort of generically usable and not reference critical EDH too much, but like if you know what it is, then you know what it is.
Yeah. Well, if you know what it is, for those who know.
But it'll look nice, and I think the goal is to have them at the Heisenberg and be available for you guys to pick up if you're a big fan of us and you're there. Otherwise, we'll just have them for sale somewhere. Be
paying attention to our social. I think at least me and Logan are hoping to be on stream with old GST while he's streaming.
Yeah.
And then if we're lucky, we'll be able to get Jason to join us. The whole gang will be there.
Yeah, the whole gang.
Yeah, gang.
We're not sure if that's going to be. I'm pretty sure that'll happen next week if we do end up doing the stream with him. But yeah, just looking for something from us on Twitter about it.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I think. We talk about this a lot of time in the Discord chat that we have with each other, but I am so continuously grateful for how many people have not only shown interest in the channel that we're building, but also support. And so not only do we have the support of other creators like Gold Sabertooth, but so many people either in the local community or when we go to tournaments, they'll talk about watching our content. And my reaction is still like, why would you do that?
Yeah, I know, right? It's like super eye-opening to think about.
Well, and not only that, but continuing to support us through your microphone issues.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, dude, it's the through thick and thin, through loud and quiet.
Yeah,
our viewers have seen and heard it all.
I think we're pretty much past that stage of issues. Hopefully, that's fixed now. But yeah, aside from that, the channel's been growing. The feedback has been really good. We've got our little tendrils out there trying to collaborate with others, and people are reaching out to us saying, "Hey, do you wanna work with us?" That sort of thing. So all those things are in the works, and this is kind of the first thing we can announce right now. But hopefully, it's a banger. I mean, okay, no, not hopefully it's a banger.
Hopefully, will be a banger.
Yeah, it's absolutely going to be a banger, but. Hopefully I can get my vision across for it, and I know Gold he just doesn't make anything bad. I think he's working on Estrid Mad right now. That's what he's working on.
Yeah, but dude, he is so good at drawing.
It's just insane.
Speaking about people who did really well, next tab. Boop, 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 boop. Way to go, Zane.
Oh yeah. This was a super fun video we did.
Yeah.
I think the responses were good, but I had a lot of people DMing me saying, "Wow, holy shit, that video is so funny." But I didn't have a lot of people commenting saying that's funny, which means that they don't want to publicly talk about it.
Well, it sounds like we were kind of in step with many of the March Meltdown contributors of people not wanting to publicly associate with us. Either way, it was super funny. Turtle Pod reached out to us kind of with the idea, and it was super fun to get to work with them. And then I know we've talked about this with Jason. I think it's just so fun to be a part of a community that gets to do stuff like this.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's.
You just see all like the inside jokes and everything on the little poll.
And like cEDH drama is part of what, it's like the ups and downs and the swings of the format, and just like the events and the current happenings and stuff like that. Eric rang the doorbell and he was wearing like a suit jacket and stuff. I was like, wow, you actually dressed up for this. And I looked down and I'm wearing a jersey. I'm like, oh wait, I'm wearing a Canadian tuxedo. This is awesome. But it was a fun video to make. And, despite it being pretty short, we kind of did a fake ad read in it, and that was pretty fun. But
yeah, it was fun, kind of like stretching our legs and trying new content. And then also, I think just one of the other ways of we just love getting to interact with people from the community. So thank you again, Turtle Pod, for reaching out, and thank you for our viewers for watching our very, very silly video.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of things we did last week, we all attended our weekly at Level 7 North. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, they call it the North Store.
Okay. The North Star?
The North Store.
Dude, I call it the North Star.
Yeah, every time I walk into that place, I'm like, man, there's so much stuff in here that like I would probably buy if I had any money to spend.
I know,
it's not on
so
Magic.
Cool. I'm so grateful how often we're kind of late because I don't have time to hang out downstairs, or else I'd be even broker than I already am. But there was a huge turnout. Jason, you were saying it's one of the bigger ones that you've seen in a while.
I know. It's like, I've never seen this many people for a weekly in like honestly like a couple of years at this point.
Because it was 42 people.
Yeah, I think we had a few drop kind of early on because of the structure. They tried a new structure. Instead of doing 4 rounds, top cut to 4. They did 3 rounds, top cut 10, and then just did finals after that. But the finals didn't start till like 1:30 in the morning.
I think that's
2 o'clock.
Is that?
Yeah.
We didn't leave the store till 3.
Yeah, me and Jason were in the finals together. And if you get 2 yappers like us in the same game,
we were in the semifinals together.
Oh, dude, it was so fun. It was a really great game. I think some highlights for me. I got to play Rock Thrash, which was really, really fun. Going into the 3rd round before Top Cut, me and you were matched up together and we were able to ID and go get Popeyes. And I know that it's kind of funny how like talking about cEDH, my favorite thing is not playing cEDH, but I think having that time just to take like a break before going into the semifinals, it was really great. And just I always just love getting to watch and listen to other games.
I think like winning your first 2 games and then sitting down at a table with you and Min and who else was it? It was Nate. Yeah. So the 4 of us, we're just like looking at each other like, are we really gonna play this game, or can we just like chill out for an hour or whatever? And then like we're like, oh, we should get food. We get Popeyes. And so like Yumi and Min went to Popeyes, and that was nice.
It was so nice, and I think it's like it is such a good feeling. I don't think it's something that every player gets to experience all the time, but being able to ID into finals is, I think I experience it as like a huge confidence boost as a player.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to have like a lot of doubt because you're always winning and you're always losing. And it's sometimes easier to attribute the losses to your own decisions and the win to luck. But
that feeling is really good. And then I experienced that feeling again because I was second and I got a bye into finals. So I'm sitting there like, what do I do with myself for like 2.5 hours? Like this is, so I started playing like casual games, and I was just like yapping with everybody else was there playing, and had a bunch of really great, I say casual, like cEDH games, but
cEDH games, but for fun.
Yeah. While you guys were getting Popeyes, I was critically crashing out in my pod.
Oh shit! I didn't pull up that picture.
Pull it up.
You can pull it up while we're chatting. I felt so bad for you because probably about like 5 or 6 minutes into our first game, I could see just waves of pain watching across your face.
Oh,
like I'm like, should I keep this hand? And you're like, can I live another day?
Yeah, I know. You literally in Top Cut semifinals, your first seat, and you drop 3 rocks: Mox Amber, Mox Opal, and Mana Vault, and a land, and you just cast a Windfall, and I'm like, oh my god, I mulled a 3.
I know.
Yeah, here's Jason in the picture of the night.
Oh man.
I was sent this by Elias from Blight Club.
Oh, heck yeah.
And he, I was like looking at this picture and I'm like, I gotta make this black and white. Like, I gotta make this grayscale.
Dude, it was, but you know, as someone who both knows you as a friend and as a player, I had so much respect for the way that you absolutely clawed your way back through that game, and you ended up winning it. And
especially after losing to me in the first round.
Dude, I got cooked in my first round.
What'd you cook him with? What were you playing at this week?
I was playing Krark Ishai, so I took a little bit of inspiration from Tyler from Play to Win. Mm-hmm. He's playing Krark Timna, and I'm like, wow, those color, I don't like Mardu. Like, I want to play blue. But like the novelty of silencing over and over again in white seemed cool, or like having a GA and with a Krark seems nice.
Heck yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, if I just add blue, I can add like all the copies of Ristic and stuff like that. And it worked out pretty well. Like I was, the second game I won, I didn't even play Krark. I mean, like,
did you ever kill anybody with Ishai?
No, but he got swords once because they were afraid that it was going to kill them somehow. Or I was going to use it.
Wow.
I was just like, why is Logan at 70 health?
No, I was just going to say there was another thing I wanted to. Oh, there's our pup.
Oh yeah, great job graduating, Olive.
Yeah, here's our final 4, our top 4 pod. There's Nate, me, Min, and Jason.
And then I took the picture. It's the first time I've done anything technology related with this channel. So
that's very cool.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I got you.
Was there another photo here? Oh yeah. I did want to mention this. This is so cool. One of our locals, the Yuriko guy, Steven, you guys might have seen him on the channel, and there's another video coming out with him soon. Dude, he's like a killer artist, and he's like a budding, kind of like trying to start up, and like he was just drawing all night. Like he was like, hey, you're playing Krark, you want some Krark triggers? And I just tossed him like $30. I'm like, draw me 3, bro. Like so now I have these in my binder, or in my deck.
I think it's one of the ways of right, I think something you're able to bring to the cEDH community is both like your experience as a Glarg player. So I know you're really active in the Discord, but also your passion for like technology and the format is, you know, kind of led to the start of the channel, and you have a lot of experience, you know, tournament grinding and just the experience you're able to provide, not just us, but a lot of our viewers with. For people who don't have those access to, like, you know, 2+ years of playing tournaments or this super huge background in cEDH, I imagine it can be difficult to think of like, what am I able to like bring to this community? And to be able to see Steven, who's a rock star, just a super duper cool guy. I think everyone loves him, loves playing with him.
Yeah, he's super chill.
So, and then every game about halfway through, he just starts sighing and running his hands through his hair. He's like, oh, I hate this game.
The one game I saw him like pull out his like notebook, or at least I thought it was his notebook, and he like pulls it out. I was like, oh man, this guy must be taking notes. And I like go up and go to the bathroom, and I was like, oh no, that's his sketchbook. He's drawing.
And so even if he may have felt out of the game, there's still a way for him to get into the cEDH community. I think it's so cool that we're able to have people like that in the Denver area, and I'm sure the other, you know, kind of geological locations have people like that.
And I think that's for you viewers out there too. If you see people in your locals that are needing kind of the boost up, not to say that like Steven can't do it himself, he definitely can, but just support people how you can. Try to build our community, try to grow our community, give some outreach, you know, talk to them, say like, well, that's so cool. You know, in this case, like he's drawing. I'm like, dude, have you thought about doing art for like Magic stuff or whatever? Just support people how you can.
Well, it was great getting to go to the finals with you guys. Thank you again to Level 7 for hosting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, super great. What's on the next one?
Oh, you can catch both of our games are round 1 and 2.
Heck yeah, they're on screen.
On the Level 7 stream. Yeah.
They're on
And thanks to
stream.
Raul for taking care of that. He does a great job with that.
Oh, he does so much. good
You
work.
had a gas win in your first spot, bro.
Yeah, I won't spoil for the viewers, but it's pretty good.
I think one of the things I wanted to bring up, and maybe if you guys have interest in sort of following us in our journey as cEDH players and tournament grinders, is sort of our personal progression, where we stand. So like after the tournament this weekend, Jason, you went from what, 10th to 8th?
Yeah, I went to 10th to 8th.
I don't understand how that works. I beat you, right? I'm lower ranked than you. You should be going down.
No. The strategy is that I didn't get the buy, so I got to play more games. So I can win more
that's
games
true.
than you.
All I know is that Jason is so good, losing to him raised my elo.
We see so Jason's here at number 8. I think I went from like 100. Let's see. I'm the highest ranked Logan, which is
Highest
nice.
ranked Logan.
Yeah, I'm 74 now, which feels nice.
Sheesh.
But-
Yeah, I think earlier this year, I think I was something like 5400th. And so I'm definitely not top 100, but I'm working. I'm
doing
learning
pretty
from my
well.
big bros.
You're doing pretty well in top deck points, though. Like you're really getting there. You're still accumulating points regardless of elo. Like I think that's worth noting.
I think it's. I feel very privileged to be a part of like the Denver community where events are firing off all the time.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just a great opportunity to, even if I do really bad at one event, there's always another event. There's always another opportunity to, either play different deck or, try to work on some part of my play style. And so this last week I did well, and I think I was really grateful because I was playing Rock Thras, and we've got Pigeon in our local area who recently did super well with it at Fishbowl, and it seems like it's been doing really well other places. I don't want to dip into it too much because we're going to talk about it later, but
Yeah, and this scene in here is so healthy. We're firing events every single week, if not multiple events. Like this
For
week,
sure.
we have one coming up at a different store, and then the level 7 one's still firing on top of that.
Yeah.
So if you scrub out at one, you can go to level 7 and scrub out at that one too. But like the scene's really healthy. The players are like insanely good, and it's a competitive environment, and it's fostering us and our growth as players. So it's nice to be a part of that.
and it's not where the Colorado cEDH scene was that long ago. Like earlier in the year, we were not getting 42 people at level 7, and so I think if you're somewhere where maybe there's not a huge cEDH scene, I would highly want to encourage you, like, just keep showing up, keep inviting friends. Either people will move from casual to competitive, or people will just move to the area and be looking for a place to play.
Make those connections with players and make cEDH a game that they want to play. Like don't push people out, don't shun them.
Yeah.
Make yourself a player that they want to compete against, they want to beat. Like Jason, I want to beat his ass every freaking tournament, but
wanna
I
beat
can't.
you.
You know what I mean? Like, but like he's a good competitor, so like I'm not upset when he wins because he's not like throwing it in my face or anything. But
how could this happen?
No, I get lucky every time. I get lucky every win.
Literally every time. Yeah, that's what your opponents say. Let's go to the next tab. Speaking of people hopping out there and supporting the community.
Speaking of lucky fucks, no, I'm just kidding.
Congrats to Freedom Waffle taking down the Hunter Burton Memorial cEDH 10K.
This was in Texas, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So congrats to him. I think he played Kinnan, right?
Yeah, he played Kinnan.
Okay.
My goat.
Has he been changing his no bad cards except endurance list much around? Because I think you convinced him to put Astro Dragon in.
No, he's still refusing.
He's still.
Yeah. But he's playing Mockingbird right now over it.
Mockingbird. Okay.
Secret Tech.
We're thinking about Amphibian Downpour.
Ooh. Whoa.
So they can get de-swatted onto Kinnan, right?
Onto Kinnan, yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Hey, it throws the thread off you.
Well, congrats to Freedom Waffle. I think one other notable thing about this event, Comedian took Glarb and he got third. And he did a whole video with the Mind Sculptors and their podcast, his podcast with Cal, about the deck. And that was filmed before he went. But he's definitely on some interesting cards. I think his strategy kind of mirrors mine, but he just has a bit of different choices and like stylistic things. But it was cool to see that. So the deck is still doing well. I mean, seems decent.
Well, you've definitely heard us talk about Glarb, and you can go hear a comedian talk about it. Get out of here. Go watch this video.
And then come back.
And then pause.
And then what do we have in the next one? Speaking of Freedom Waffle.
Yeah. He has been kind of, he's not TOing, but as kind of like a personality and, one of the bigger names in cEDH, he's been repping the Heisenberg.
Yeah.
And it's something that hopefully I think all of us are going to be able to go to.
Hopefully so.
Ooh, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about us bringing our playmat, and I've already been talking to him about setting up a booth and just doing the sort of interview and on the ground reporting that we did at Fishbowl and at our local tournaments. So I'm pretty excited to do that. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I have to like compete too. So I need to get into that like headspace of like Freedom Waffle running around taking photos, and then like Gold Saber doing APs and like selling mats and stuff. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I think I am just now starting to kind of see like what Tim was talking about when he talks about how both running a business and trying to make a run for the top 4 at tournaments kind of activates both sides of his brain. Because looking back, right, at some of the tournaments that we've covered for, both the ones I was doing really well and the ones I was doing not so well at, having the opportunity to be a part of this other like kind of creative project kind of prevented me from like stagnating on my last game experience or hyperfixating on any one element. Yeah. And so I'm really grateful to kind of be a part of a project that gives me the chance to do that.
Yeah.
But
it gives you more avenues of thought.
Yeah.
More ways to succeed and more ways to crash out.
Holy cow, I can feel it. 2 things.
Wow.
I mean, how do you do that when you're in tournaments? Because I know, for instance, like on Saturday, you were playing so we started at like 5:30, and then we didn't go home until like 3:30. So that's some like wheeling into a Sphinx level like numbers. How do you
more like wheeling into Narset, because that's how we lost. I definitely did that, but my fault, my bad.
You going from Swiss to Top Cut, you literally stayed in the exact same pod with the exact same seat, except I swapped out for a Derevi player. Like in a situation like that, how I mean, I don't know, maybe the crushing pain and not having ibuprofen helped take your mind off the last game. But maybe in other situations, how do you kind of make sure that you're always focusing on the game that you're in instead of letting the last game kind of like eat away at you?
That the last game I've played has already happened, right? So I don't want to dwell on it too much if I have something else I need to look forward to.
There's nothing from that last game that's going to carry over to your current one unless you're sitting with the same player playing the same deck, which is somewhat likely, right? Like it could happen, not in the semifinals, but like from round 2 to 3, it could happen, for example. But I think that's a good point. Like if you move on from semifinals to finals, these are 3 new people that I played with earlier in the night, but like I don't need to worry about what happened in the last game. I need to worry about what's going on right now.
For sure. Especially after round 1 being in Logan's house for so long with the allergies.
Do you think that your comfort level on your deck really kind of helps with that as well?
Sometimes it does. I can sometimes autopilot Blue Farm, but it's easier to win the game if you're just paying attention.
It's true. I think I am still learning how easy it is for me to get distracted. Or I won't even notice that I'm not like paying full attention until someone's like, okay, I would like to cast a Wheel of Fortune. And then I can feel myself go from like 30 to like 80% attention. Yeah. When even though I didn't know, I was like kind of like lapsing in terms of like how much energy I was giving the table. And so that's another way I'm trying to grow as a cEDH player is not that like every moment of every game needs to be the most emotionally intense moment of your life, but growing that skill of like, if a player has been quiet for 15, 20 minutes, it's not because their deck doesn't do anything. It's cEDH and you're at a tournament. Yeah. Chances are they're waiting for something, and I want to try and sniff out what their window is.
I think another reason is that you and I kind of share the same personality, or at least mental state, where if we're kept busy with doing stuff like this, it's kind of easier for us to keep our brains sort of active. And when we hit those lulls, that's kind of when we like our energy drops, and then our energy, it's harder for us to get our energy back up.
Yeah.
So if we just kind of maintain a steady state throughout the tournament or whatever we're doing, it's a little bit easier for us to just continue on and like continue to perform. Whereas Jason, I don't think that he is like benefits from that. Where I think he plays a game, then he's like, I'm willing to just sit there and wait for the next game that is like thrown at me. Yeah. So I don't know. I think you kind of have to be cognizant of your personality, what your mental state is, and kind of how you work as a person.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, and it's maybe something we could talk about in a future video, is what helps you maintain that kind of positive inertia. Because I think there's definitely some players who would really benefit from, as soon as the game is over, finding their group of friends, talking. And I mean, I know there's pictures of me at Snowy Summit literally taking naps between rounds because I was like so tired, and I was like, I need to like recharge my batteries. And I'm sure that's a different journey for each player, but it could be really interesting to talk about.
Mac OS wants to do software update. Not right now, bro.
Get out of here. Instead, we'd rather talk about the next tab in CEDH.
Last thing about the Heisenberg, I know we got a little tangent there. This is the official playmat art for the Heisenberg.
It's dockside. Guys, it's dockside.
Oh my word, it is.
Oh my God, it is.
Yeah, look at that. Oh my God.
He's been gone so long, I didn't recognize him.
I missed
R.I.P. dockside.
I'd forgotten his face.
Pour one out.
Unban him and Nadu. I can be trusted.
Yeah, but the playmat is going to look sick. It looks really
cool.
And obviously the Breaking Bad stuff is super neat. So anyway, go to the Heisenberg, sign up for the Heisenberg, and we'll see you there.
Yeah.
This is a big one. So I don't know if you guys know about this channel. This channel is called The Distraction Makers, or I think it's just called Distraction Makers.
Are you familiar with them?
Nope.
I've heard them talking about, but I don't know if I've watched any of their content.
Yeah. So Forrest, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's the artist for the original Dockside.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, look at that. It's almost like I planned it, dude.
The cabal.
And then I don't remember this other guy's name, but I watch them. I like listen to them all the time. I think one is like a former WoW dev, and like so they're actually like in the game development space, and they're looking at like cEDH or Magic in general as like a game design space.
Interesting.
More than like the game systems and stuff like that than like the cards and whatever.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, so it's super interesting. It's like a good way for me to like kind of think about things in a different angle, and just like listen to something that is tangentially related to my hobby and things I like. Well, anyway, they put out this video, clickbait title notwithstanding, but they had a good discussion about a event that happened at, I think, one of the Salt City tournaments, where a player was DQ'd for collusion. And this is kind of not the first time they've really talked about cEDH, but like this is them diving into, here are the structural problems with cEDH and the challenges that we face as a format. So it's kind of interesting to think about and how they talk about it. I think that we as players could probably provide some additional context and additional like, well, maybe these things don't play out the way you think they do because you don't play the format and things like that. So
it's one of the ways I really appreciate, other podcasts like the Herald's Horn. Shout out to Corn Dog, where the only competitive Magic format I've ever played is cEDH for about a year and a half now, and I drafted twice. And so I really, really take for granted how like social and all the like politicking that goes on at the table. When I'm sure that if I, was a standard or like a modern player, I wouldn't really associate any of those things with Magic. And so I am grateful for that kind of perspective that people from the outside looking in can have, because I at tournaments have had so many conversations about like, oh, should we draw here? Or, packed on the stack, you have to draw. Or if one player doesn't want to draw, then you're wondering of like, oh, do I like force them to draw, or do I just like double down trying to win? Like,
there's so many conversations right now about draws in general, but a lot of the sort of lowbrow takes, especially from people that don't really play CEDH or just Commander players in general, they'll say like, "Why don't you guys just win? It's not that hard." Or they'll say like, "Well, to fix the draw problem, draws need to be worth 0 points," which is like objectively, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's going to really fix any problems. But like, as someone who's invested in the scene, invested in tournament play, like, I think there's a problem that needs to be fixed, but I don't really know what the solution is. And to say that like people aren't trying is not true, because I know that privately things are being tested between top players where they're saying draws will not be allowed, or like intentional draws will not be allowed. If the game comes to a natural draw, that's fine, but like we can't agree to a draw and then just ID. So I think there's like these things like that that are being tested, but it's hard. It's just like hard to say, and having these conversations publicly, especially on like these larger channels, start to foster that sort of progress and process.
I think it's especially important because cEDH as a competitive format hasn't been around for super long, but many of the players haven't even been around that long. So me and you were actually talking about the other day of when you first started playing cEDH, there was a very different point system in tournaments than there is today.
Oh man, that was really interesting. It was basically just like there's like a pool of 15 points or something like that. And if you kill off players early, they get lower points. So you can just unevenly kill people. And I played Jessica Ishai at the time. So I could just just murder someone. They would get 1 point, and then I'd shoot the other 2 people like however point values I want. So I'd be way ahead in points.
Interesting.
Yeah, because
so that's why you're number 8.
It is so interesting though, of like that system was in place for a while, and even just hearing about it, the gears in my brain are turning about how it fundamentally restructures what makes a deck good. Because I think it would really prioritize decks, maybe like Slicer, that maybe they can't close out a game, but they're really good at taking out at least 1 or 2 players. And these kind of more like sloggy, mid-rangey decks that are meant to be the very like in the middle of the pack until they're ready to like pounce, maybe wouldn't be as strong. Not to say that that's the system we should move towards, but I think to say that I really appreciate your perspective, as well as the many people who are kind of talking and having this discourse around what other system might be viable, because when players say that something feels off, they're not inherently wrong.
No.
And maybe they may not know the solution, but it seems like there's a lot of people in the community that love cEDH, love going to tournaments, but feel like it needs something. And I'm really grateful that people are talking about it.
Yeah. Do you guys ascribe to the idea that part of... I think there's something that needs fixing, but I was wondering if you guys ascribe to the idea of like, when you strive for perfection, are you taking the like sort of heart and soul of what makes something special like kind of away from it? Because like, I actually think things are pretty good right now. Like I'm having fun at tournaments. I'm enjoying myself. Like I feel like I can compete and I can be competitive. I feel like everyone's trying to be competitive given the tournament structure. And I think if we try to quote fix things, like we risk actually kind of breaking down these systems that have been sort of tried and true.
I think that comes with the quote that the grass isn't always greener on the other side, right?
Yeah. So
if you try to innovate something, it might not actually innovate it, right? It might just make it worse.
Right. So like we talk about the bans all the time, but like those bans happen and lots of people were really happy, especially initially. And then now we're in a state where there's a different set of problems that might be worse than what we had before. And now people are like, well, maybe that didn't affect things the way that we thought it would. And I'm just kind of like very wary of that moving forward, because if we make a lot of changes all of a sudden, then like who knows what that's going to affect, because Magic is so complicated, especially 4-player Magic.
Crazy complicated.
It's ridiculous.
From where I sit in a folding chair in Colorado. I think I still don't fully understand. I don't know if I have the experience or the wisdom to decide if this kind of like Ristic study world that we're in is because of the cEDH meta or the cEDH culture. And so is this a way that we as a group of people who kind of conglomerate around this hobby, that it's just kind of like this like hive mind where we're all trying to like play really greedy, and we'd rather just get a ton of draws than losses and wins? Or is it more just kind of a stop in the road, and as soon as other sets come out, it'll kind of shake things up? Or I don't know. I don't know if I have the I don't know if I'm able to zoom out far enough, but I would be really interested to hear kind of what other people think, because it is seeming to be like where we're going to be at least for a while. But also it wasn't that long ago that, Nadu was, on everyone's lips, either, via benediction or curses. Oh, yeah. And I think while Commander historically has been an incredibly stable format, it is kind of going through a little bit of an evolution, both as it transitions from ruling bodies, but also as it just continues to get more and more popular. As more people come to the format, the more it's just going to inherently change as people like to play different decks or different ways.
Well, I think to kind of touch on like what I was talking about before, like the whole just win thing is it's easier said than done. And like, is your goal to just win a game, or is it your goal to like win a tournament? And at this point, like, we're trying to win tournaments, right? Like, we're trying to be better players, move our standings up, get more top deck points, do whatever. But like, a new player outside looking in would say like, well, I'm just going to play this combo and just like win. And like, you can try to jam through that over and over again, but like, maybe you'll find over the course of 100 games, your win rate's going to be less than 25%.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the strategy or the like sort of know-how to convert games. You're going to find that strategy of quote just win doesn't actually just win. As many times as you try to jam it through, like, you're going to get stopped, or something else is going to outvalue or whatever. So like, then you go, okay, well, if I can't win, then like maybe I'll draw because I'll get a point. And then you're already in that mindset of which you just said, like, well, I don't want to draw. And it's like, yeah, I don't want to draw either. Yeah. But I also really don't want to lose.
Yeah. Losing is a lot worse than drawing.
And like making draws the same value as losses is not going to fix the problem, because one is inherently better than the other. But does it actually? Yeah. So
in the same way that
it's just a hard situation to be in.
It's super difficult. I think because it is an imperfect problem, there's not going to be a perfect solution.
Right.
But I'm excited to see it. It seems like some upcoming tournaments are trying some new structures, and we'll have to keep our eye out, see how they go. Keep our ears to the ground.
And the Japanese point structure is available to us to use on Top Deck when we host events. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do that one for this event, but maybe the next one, or we'll just do some testing and to see if it's because like you can't. The way it works is like you just have 1,000 points, and if you win, you take 7% of everyone else's points. And so if you win against someone really good, you take more points. If you draw, everyone loses 7% of their points. So it inherently, like, you don't have it kind of builds in opponent win percentage. You don't have to worry about that anymore. And then like you can't really tie, because it's going to do fractions of a points anyway. So it's kind of interesting, but we'll see if it works or pans out, or Americans love to yap, so it's kind of but anyway, talking about this video, go check it out. It's super interesting. These guys are really, really smart and very, very eloquent. Can't recommend their channel enough. So,
dude, that's awesome. Can't wait to check it out.
All right. Let's see what we got
Speaking
next.
of things, can't wait to check out the voice of victory.
This is not what we needed, bro.
No,
I think going to speed up game.
This is what we needed.
No. The first thing you said to me was, what card do I cut? Because like you're like, I already have 2 of these.
Bro, I'll just get 3.
And honestly, then what? You're going to cut Force of Will?
Yeah. Honestly, Force of Will for another silence. Why not? Right? This is. I think actually this is a good card printed to break the meta, right? Because right now everyone's just sandbagging and taking it really,
do you think adding a third effect is going to break through the meta?
Yeah,
in tournaments, I think so.
Well, maybe more will, but I'm saying this helps alleviate the problem, right?
Interesting.
Put it on the stack, and if people don't respond, they die.
Yeah, it's definitely a card you have to deal with.
I understand that this card was designed for probably Standard and other formats that are not Commander. But had they printed this card in green, I think that would actually shake things up quite a bit.
give me more cards in green for no reason in particular. You know, if they happen to also be lands,
But yeah, I mean, this is just it's Cutzel that's one pip shorter or one pip shorter.
It's a loyal apprentice Grand Abolish.
Heck
Yeah, what the heck is this? This is
Sisei can't search for it, which makes it better in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. Thankfully, it has Thrasios power and toughness, and it's basically GA2.
Dude, I'm so excited. This and there's a bunch of other cards that were kind of
Should have made it like a lizard or something.
Make it a monk.
No, the fact that it's a human, so I get 3 uncut.
Because if it were a monk, it would just be a human monk. It doesn't fix the problem. It's human. Human tribal deck.
That's true. Kind of
T and K.
It does have me excited for the rest of Tarkir though. I was scrolling through a lot of the spoilers today. There are so many 3-color legendaries, and you were telling me the other day about how you feel like 3 colors is kind of the spot to be right now.
With the exception of T and K, I think that 3-color decks are pretty much taking over as what's the strongest in CEDH, because you can go deep into any one of those colors, usually blue, and support whatever strategy you want, and then kind of use white to silence, black to universal tutor, red to do breach stuff, green to
win games.
Definitely not. Who knows what green's used for, really? But
that's shifting woodlands. Pretty much
food chain, right? Yeah, food chain.
Wins games, right?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I think that 3 colors is kind of where things are headed, especially right now. No deck can be as good as Blue Farm in 4 colors, I don't think, at the moment. And that is what it is.
Tymna, bro. Thrasios Tymna's good.
No way. I'm sorry. I love the guys up north, but that ain't it. That deck ain't it.
Sorry, Rule.
Sorry.
Sorry, Pigeon.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Pigeon's dropped the deck. He's on a 3-color deck now.
Yeah, he dropped it for the deck that I beat Raul with on Saturday, which was not Raul's fault. He made a great
No.
Yeah, great TNT player. I do think I personally would really like to hear if anyone in our audience has seen anything in Tarkir that they're really excited to brew about. Because it seems like
a lot of them say like draw cards, or
so
like,
many of them say draw cards.
Did you guys see those dragon foils for the collector boosters? Those look pretty sick.
Yeah, Jason's like, I'm gonna buy collector boosters just to get upgraded shock land or fetch lands.
Let's go, baby! More money to spend.
Ugin foil? No. Ooh foil.
Oh boy!
Next time.
Yeah. Here we go. And just to close out, these are some upcoming events that we have going on kind of on our calendar. So this one is our local 1K for the month. We've talked about this event before, and the last one was really successful. We got to a lot of really cool interviews and stuff.
Down in the trenches.
Yeah. This one I think is for a tundra, not a.
Oh heck yeah!
Drop island.
For last time we played for a tundra.
Whoa,
that was interesting.
dang! Takes me back.
Yeah, you'll have to ask us about that one offline.
All I'm saying is someone else could have won March Meltdown, unrelated. Ichi is a great place to play. I think we mentioned it before. One of my favorite things about playing at this location is they have food and it's on site
and coffee.
It's so nice,
dude. The burritos. They're low-key kind of gas.
They're
pretty good.
Yeah.
And especially for the price. Like some hot food is nice instead of just eating like dry snacks and whatever.
They've also got a good online card selection. So if you want to go, but I'm missing an Aftermath Analyst or Sunscorched Desert. It could be any deck that I'm talking about. You could you can
Shifting
go.
Woodland.
Whoa! You know what I was thinking? Food chain.
Well, the other thing is I always bring my
always bring
the proxies and
proxies as far as I can see.
Yeah. So if you want to attend any of these events, just reach out to us and we'll try to help you out however we can. We just love seeing people here.
The Critical EDH Discord or the EG Discord are probably the 2 best places to reach out.
Yep. And then another semi-local event is the Only Flubs event in Fort Collins.
Only Flubs. Yeah, Only Flubs. Flipper picks.
The Commander's sick. Ken Bowman and the Blight Club guys collaborate collaborated on this. Like, Commander's really cool. It's like Song of Creation, but on a dude. It's on a frog. But yeah, they're running a 64 player
What kind
tournament.
of frog is it?
Bard?
Frog bard? Okay.
Is it a bard?
No, there's got to be a third one because like all the creature types.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Because Glarp's a frog noble,
frog
right?
wizard noble. Is it a frog
okay.
wizard bard?
I don't know.
We can do this. No, we can't. I have no why. It's got to be. If it's not a third one, I apologize. But
I would be very surprised if this event's not sold out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
especially since it's 64 players and there's already like 40 signed up and we're like a week and a half out.
You also don't need a Flubs deck to play in the tournament because the Blight Club, I think, proxied 24 of I forget
The Too Deep
whose list.
list.
It is. Yeah.
yeah, it's like the Too Deep Brewing Collective, their Turbo Flubs list.
Oh,
Flubs
heck
the
yeah.
Fool.
Super turbo.
Yeah.
Super duper.
Somebody is going to bring a Stax Flubs in which they attach a bunch of swords to him and then start swinging.
Yeah, with Arcane Laboratory.
Yeah, exactly.
Stacks, gloves.
Yeah.
Well, either way, Blight Club has really worked to make this an accessible event.
Absolutely.
So I know Fort Collins, for a lot of people in the Denver area, it may be a little bit of a drive, but it seems like it's going to be really worth it. And then even if you're not interested in going to this event, I would highly encourage people either to join the Blight Club Discord or follow their Twitter.
Absolutely.
Because it seems like they're really interested in growing those more diverse aspects of the CEDH community.
And they're like an international collective. They have members and like mini clubs sort of everywhere. Denver's one of them. I know they have in Japan and
Texas?
I think Malaysia, Texas, all over
Like
the place.
literally across the globe.
Yep. And they've got really sick playmats too.
It's awesome.
I think Comedian's going to be there. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, he's going to be there.
Okay. Yeah. He was talking about it, and this is him announcing it as well. The event is also at a brewery.
That's awesome.
So
You must play Flubs.
Hey, if Comedian's going, that's how you know this tournament is no joke.
yeah.
Yeah, so definitely.
Oh,
definitely
Jesus. Christ.
That's a thinker for you.
We're at that point in the video. Anyway, check out this tournament. I've been thinking about going just to like kind of do what we're doing right now, or just kind of talk to people and walk around and have some fun, maybe play some games or whatever. But I think that brewery is going to be packed.
It's gonna be so fun.
Be a lot of tanked frog players.
Oh yeah, dude.
But yeah. Anyway, so check out the event, and I guess that takes us to the next one. If I can
Next
do it.
tab
enough to be
is
tanked.
rip. that just means you'll win, I guess. Speaking of local tournaments, this is a tournament that's local to somewhere, but not here.
Yeah, not us, but a friend of the channel, Nick, also known as the Papa Squats.
Pop squads.
Is helping host. I don't think he's TOing. I think just another advertiser. His local tournament.
In Arizona.
Yep. And it's at Gamers Guild AZ. And some of the like shots I've seen from this place
that
is
was sick. There's actual space to walk
I
around.
was so
Yeah.
jealous. There's an individual table for each game with room to walk in between them, and I was like, "Oh, so good."
okay. So
nice.
they had this sick pod setup. There's 4 to a pod, and then between every pod, there's a like
There's a chair
side
to put
table.
your stuff
Yeah.
on too. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a shelf. You can put your bag on a shelf. You can order food to your table and eat there, like hot food with drinks and stuff. It's so sick. I don't know if he has it in this.
I do know.
Oh, that's an
though,
iPhone advertisement. That's
we
very cool.
interviewed them at Fishbowl. They have been doing great work out there, looking to grow the Arizona scene. Really cool pricing for this. I think there's a foil cradle for first place, as well as some other cool stuff. So if you're in the area,
Is this the old one? This is just the amount of people that have signed up.
ooh, heck yeah.
Interesting.
I think so. There's 2 reasons I think we want to talk about this. One is because Nick is just a great guy, and it's always exciting to hear about the CEDH scene growing anywhere around the globe. But also, we as a channel are always really interested if people are doing things that they want other people to be a part of.
Absolutely.
It's a very social format, and I think we feel very privileged to be in the position we are. So if any of our audience or viewers are in Nick's position of you're running a tournament and you're just looking to get the word out, reach out to us, post it on Twitter and tag us. We would love to be able to kind of like shout out your tournament for you.
Yeah, we're not only interested in growing the CEDH scene here, but we want to grow it everywhere. I think like having more CEDH players and just more tournaments, more events, just fosters a better, healthier community and better players.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Really looking forward to this. Hopefully I can go.
That'd be awesome.
Arizona's kind of like diagonal from us, so it's not like a drive. We have to kind of fly, but I think we'll be okay. We'll figure something out if we can.
Yeah, if we're going, you'll hear about it.
And then Nick is also, he's been playing Glarb lately.
Yeah.
The moistness.
The moistness.
And he's been doing really well.
You're playing Glarb.
He messaged me earlier today and he was like, dude, I've played like 14 games and I think I like legitimately lost 2. And I'm like, wow, that seems like you're like connecting with the deck pretty well.
That's so nice.
So yeah, good for him, and looking forward to this tournament. Gamers Guild AZ is the host store.
Nice.
I think it's being hosted at their store. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I've ordered a ton of product from them, and whether it's like sealed product or deck boxes, those what are the
That's right on the tip of my tongue.
not the boulders, the Bastions, Gamegenic Bastions. I ordered a ton from them.
Yeah, those are sick deck boxes.
Yeah,
nice.
and they ship super fast. Their prices are super reasonable,
Heck yeah.
and can't recommend them enough for that reason. So
Nice.
hopefully they run a good event too. I'm sure they will.
Yeah. And then I think there's one more thing.
There's one more.
One more thing.
Oh, maybe not.
Hang on.
Was
Did we
that
skip it?
I think that was it. Yeah, that was the last one.
Heck yeah. We did
Wow.
it. We have.
Wait.
Whoa.
In the comments below, comment your top 10 most missteppable spells.
Oh, yeah. Time is running out.
We already went through one election. Now we've got a second.
Another. I do think this is one of the last opportunities you will have to get it in, because we have gotten a lot of great suggestions so far. A lot of dwarves, a lot of ninjas, which are definitely some of the most mental misstepable. But if no one says silence, if no one says Veil of Summer,
It's not making the cut.
It's not going to make it on there. I mean, look at it this way. If it didn't make it into our TNT list, which we put together on purpose.
I mean, it's in there now.
It's in there now.
That's only because someone commented.
We added it in post. So, thank you to that commenter.
Yeah, someone commented and was like, hey, you guys are missing like something kind of important. I'm like, oh.
A bunch of tutors.
Yeah.
You know, who needs fetches? Let's just put the shocks in. But anyways, it sounds like at least for tonight, we have, kept tabs on cEDH.
Yep. And I guess we'll probably do the same thing every week.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being
Thanks
here,
for watching.
Jason.
See you next time.
Yeah.